Well, hi everyone, and greetings from Northern Michigan. This is Bob the Science Guy with a quick follow-up from my video yesterday. Now, yesterday we went over the Foucault Pendulum at the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. We used it to calculate gravity, we used it to calculate the rotational period of the Earth, and we found the location of Chicago by simply watching the pendulum swing and precess in a 360-degree circle. Now, today I want to talk about how the Foucault pendulum demonstrates that the Earth is indeed a sphere. Now, on the spherical Earth model, you'll notice a couple of things here. We have lines of longitude that form circles that go all the way around the Earth from pole to pole. We also have lines of latitude that form minor circles. That's why when we look at latitude and longitude, we have a degree of latitude starting at the equator at 0 degrees and working up to the North Pole at 90 and down to the South Pole at -90, and they're listed in degrees. Longitude as well is listed in degrees. Now, in our video from yesterday, we saw that we could calculate the rotational period of a Foucault pendulum by taking a sidereal day, which is 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4 seconds, and dividing it by the sine of the degree of latitude that the pendulum is located. Hey, Otis. And we did this with the Foucault pendulum in Chicago, and we were able to use the rotational period of the pendulum to determine the latitude of Chicago to within about 20 miles, 30 kilometers. This is exactly what we expect on a spherical Earth. But what about the flat Earth? Now, this is, of course, the Gleason map, which is commonly used in the flat Earth community, and you'll notice that the lines of longitude extend radially out from the central point, which is the North Pole, that black dot. This actually works as far as using degrees to talk about lines of longitude. However, the lines of latitude are simply range or distance markers, 0 miles at the North Pole, all the way up to over 12,000 miles at the South Pole, or the rim of this Gleason map. There's nothing special about any of these lines, they're just simply range marks. So the equator is no different than, say, 45 degrees north or 30 degrees south latitude. Now, the fact that lines of latitude are simply range markers on the Gleason map causes some problems with the Foucault pendulum, because in order to calculate the period of the Foucault pendulum, the time it takes it to completely rotate 360 degrees, we need to take the sine of the latitude. Well, latitude is a degree, and on a Gleason map, latitudes are simply range markers. There's no degree, and no particular latitude is any different than any other latitude. So there's really nothing special about the equator, and there's no reason for the Foucault pendulum to change its tune or change its direction simply because it's on one side of the equator or the other. But let's see what actually happens with the Foucault pendulum. Well, let's go see what the globe predicts the Foucault pendulum will do. Now, mathematically, we can actually predict what the precession will be of the Foucault pendulum based on the latitude. So here we have the equator. Here we have 80 degrees south, and here we have 80 degrees north. The side lines here, of course, that is the North Pole, that's the South Pole. Now, as you know, the sine of 0 degrees is undefined, so that's what we have right here. And at the poles, we're going to have one sidereal day. This is what is predicted on a globe Earth. Let's compare this to an actual set of Foucault pendulums located throughout the world and see if this matches up. Here we have an actual collection of Foucault pendulums throughout the world. You can easily see the cities in the southern hemisphere and in the northern hemisphere, ranging from Anchorage, Alaska, all the way up to Singapore at 1.4 degrees north latitude. If you look on the sides, you'll actually see the number of days for each complete rotation. And here's a nice table to help you see that. As you can see very clearly, reality matches the spherical rotating Earth, and the Foucault pendulums are actually being measured at the predicted rate. Now, as you can see, the Foucault pendulum demonstrates that the Earth is a rotating sphere because the precession rates of each of the pendulums throughout the world in the northern and southern hemisphere match the predictions of a rotating spherical Earth. You are completely unable to match this up or come up with any sort of a formula to be able to predict the rotation period of a Foucault pendulum on a non-rotating flat Earth. One other thing that's completely incompatible with a flat, non-rotating Earth, or a flat Earth in general, is the fact that the equator itself does make a difference on a sphere. As you can tell, there is no rotation at the equator on a spherical rotating Earth. However, in the southern hemisphere, you get counterclockwise rotation, as noted by the negative values over here. And in the northern hemisphere, you get clockwise rotation, as noted by the positive values here. So not only does the Foucault pendulum follow the predictions of a rotating globe Earth, it also reverses at the equator. And there is no explanation for that on the flat Earth, because the equator is just another range line going out from the North Pole. So, this is Bob the Science Guy signing out from Northern Michigan, destroying flat Earth one video at a time, one fact at a time. So, make sure you hit a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again soon.